Good morning again. Craig Howard here. Happy to be with you again this morning. Last night had a funny thing happen. We were over at a restaurant, and the waitress, we were the only ones left in the restaurant, and the waitress, she started telling us this story of how she had to go see the doctor and she had to get tested for strep, and just the story grew and grew and grew. It was a funny story. And as the story grew, her language became more and more colorful, and it just went on, and she started dropping some words that we'll say weren't very ladylike. Anyhow, it just went on and on and on, and so we kind of left, and my brother went up, and he was going to take care. He was paying the bill, and he told her, I don't know how it came up, but he told her that I think she apologized for maybe using some language that maybe wasn't the best language. I mean, she didn't drop the F-bomb. She wasn't using terrible language, but she used a couple words that weren't maybe the most appropriate. And she apologized for using some of the language that she used. And Sean said, well, it's not a big deal to me, but the guy sitting next to me was a minister. And she said, no, you're kidding. He couldn't have been. I mean, her mouth just dropped. And he said, yeah, he's my brother. He's a minister. And she said, why do I even open my mouth? Why? Now I'm in trouble with God, And she was just, she's crossing herself, and the other waitress is laughing at her, and Sean's laughing at her, and the whole deal. Anyhow, it made me think later on, people do talk differently around me when they know that I'm a pastor. They act differently, they talk differently, they just behave themselves different. I've had it happen over and over and over again. As soon as somebody finds out I'm a pastor, their language changes, which tells me they were able to control what they were saying in the beginning. But anyhow, it makes me think, whether I'm there or whether somebody else is there or whatever the situation is, God is always there. Doesn't matter. He's always there. And there's a verse of scripture that I thought about with this. Oh, mercy. It moved when I came out here and sat down. Just a minute. Let me grab it. Here it is. It's in Psalm 139, verses 6 to 10. David is aware of the ever presence of God. And he says, where shall I go from your spirit? Or where shall I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. In other words, this passage says there is no place I can go that God's not present. So we kind of need to keep in mind the idea that God is always going to be around. He's always going to be there, and we need to adjust our lives or conduct our lives not because a pastor is around or because a deacon is around or a Sunday school teacher is around or something like that. But we need to look at our lives and say, is my life honoring to God because He is here? He is here right now. And I need to adjust my life because I am in His presence. I'm continually in His presence. How would you act? How would you talk if Jesus were standing right there? Well, let me tell you something. He is. Think about that today as you go through your day. Hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you, Lord willing, tomorrow. Looks like it's going to be another pretty day today. So we're looking forward to what God has in store for us, what we're going to do. Take care. God bless.